Morning, folks. I know it's early. It seems like I say it all the time, huh? Good morning. Let's just start that way. And remember the second question I had for you, or the first question I have for you every morning. What'd you dream about? Like to know. Try to write it down. As we go forward today, day 23 of our positivity challenge. I know that, like anything, shirts. I wore this to work out in Wounded Warrior Project. Are you guys familiar with that? So like any projects that I take on, like this one, hi, honey, they have a tendency to become my own sounding board and my own platform for teaching and spouting off what I think is important. That's all I got. And it's me. So thank you for hanging out with me. Let's try and remember why we're doing this. Day 23, we're headed into the last stretch, right? For the last 7 days. We chose to participate in this challenge that was prompted to me through the Michigan Masonic Charitable Foundation. It was a post that they had, and I believe, and I check every once in a while, they're running theirs as well, a 30-day. They put up little blurbs about, what makes you happy, and I like to read their stuff too. And you guys said that you would be interested in doing this, so here we are. Day 23 of being positive. I love feedback. Mr. Motley, good morning. I can always count on you. Mr. Huntley, how are you, sir? I love feedback, and what I would really like you to do is talk to me. Now, some of you do, some of you reach out. Mr. Huntley's been really good at sharing things. Mr. Motley's always good about sharing things. I get some private messages now that are coming through, and those I love too, because you share more details that you may not be comfortable in public. So keep them coming. For me, this challenge is about that. It's about the connection. It's about the communication. I learned so much from you guys, and you make me feel really good to know that, there are more, and I already knew this about most of you, there are really good people in the world, which brings up part of today's topic. We're going to discuss the opposite side of being positive, because I'll tell you what, there are still some negative people in the world. And how do we deal with them? So that's going to be the topic today. And then I have a pretty cool challenge, not a challenge for you, but I have, something you can go forward and mess with or play with today. So on day 23, through your 23 days, what I'd like to know is, have you encountered people that are less than positive? And how do you handle it? Now, I know some people, you just let it go, you forget it, you move on, you move past them. Let me share with you my experience, okay? Anytime you put yourself out there, public, teaching, loving, sharing, anytime you let yourself open up to ideas, feelings, or communication or relationships, let me stop and not say always, okay? I don't want to pigeonhole this as it can't be changed. Let's hope it can be changed. Let's say that a lot of times people will not always respond with the best intentions. I can't say that. How about what you there's a slippery slope here too. Let's just say that not everybody's going to respond with respect, love, or kindness, okay? I've known that forever as a public figure, as an entertainer, as a teacher, especially a martial artist. People have a tendency to want to hold you back, bash you, or create problems for you. Now, they may not do it intentionally. It's not like hey, I see this guy, I'm going to go out and hassle him. Not always. There are some people that do that. And if you find them and you recognize them, get away from it as soon as you can. With the advent of the internet and all of this communication process here, you have a lot of people that have nothing better to do than get on their keyboard and trash talk or mess with other people. Their happiness, their prosperity, their career, their knowledge. And it floors me. So today's topic is the negative people that are still out there. Do we try to fix everybody? Do we try to change everybody? Or can we just truly let it go? Now, I know a beautiful lady who runs a company. It's not her company, but she runs it. If she wasn't there, it'd be gone. And in her day, she handles numerous things. Lovely lady, positive lady, um, has moments of slippage. We all do, where you can't be positive all the time. Her work is draining her, and she's trying to be positive about it. Well, the other day she gets a phone call or a message early in the morning that the person on the other end of their phone would needs a call back. She gets busy doing her things in the morning that she has to take care of first, and then she starts to return her calls. I think the recalls were probably 30 minutes, maybe, let's just say as far out as an hour after opening. She returns the call and gets chewed out for not calling back sooner. Now, this is Monday morning after the weekend, about 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And the person on the other end of the phone decides or states that not going to do business with your company because you didn't call me back within an amount of time. Those kind of people, and he didn't do it nicely. It wasn't. From my understanding of the story, it wasn't, hey, I'm sorry, I really needed that information earlier. I'm going to have to go with somebody else now. I got the information I needed. Thank you so much. No, it wasn't that way. It was, you didn't call me back. You suck. And because of that, I'm not going to do business with you. And she handled it perfectly. She let him know that she had other things to do. They questioned her integrity and hung up the phone. Well, this beautiful person wanted to crawl through the phone and strangle the person, but didn't. So how do you, and I know we all come across situations like that. So my question is, how do you handle it? How do you let that go and not let that bother you every time you come across something that reminds you of that? I am totally guilty of this. I share this with you. I look for that negative comment about my shows, looking for somebody, and I make the excuse that I'm looking for that negative comment so that I can grow, so I can change. Well, that's nonsense. Somewhere along the line, I learned in a paradigm that if good exists, maybe bad needs to exist too. So I'm changing that. But so let's say you deal with somebody like that, or you get that kind of stimulation point in your life. What do you do about it? Do you call them back and try to reframe and make them positive or put a positive spin on it? Do you call them back and ream them, chew them a new, you know what I'm saying? Get even with them, okay? How do you handle it to where you feel like you can let it go? Let's talk about closure or mourning, not the mourning, but as in you lose something and you mourn over it. These are processes that society has created to allow you to let go. Closure and mourning. Mourning is a situation when whatever it is you have to let go of, whether it be a person, an idea, a pet, whatever it is, you come to terms with the idea that it's gone by one, visualization, two, the realization of conversation. Boy, these are some fancy $3 words I'm throwing at you. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But mourning has its process. And I learned a lot about that growing up and recently, and how the process is supposed to help you through. And it does for a lot of people. If you plant the same seeds or you take the right steps, you will get to a destination that most people find works based on the paradigm of the masses. Okay, I hope you follow me there. That's mourning. Closure is when there are two parties or more that can have a conversation and either come to a complete disagreement and be okay with it, or come to an agreement not to disagree, become okay with it, or come to an agreement and be okay with it. Closure. Her phone call, slam, hang up on her, has no closure for her. So how do you develop closure? Or should there be a mourning process? Okay. I'll leave that hanging for a minute, and then I'll tell you what great decision she made, okay, or how she dealt with it. So there are still negative people in the world. What do we do about it? All right. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. Actually, made a live video last night, and it's hanging on me. It was a martial arts video. And I'll share that with you about being positive. People don't listen, okay? And this is part of, I guess, negative people. People have a tendency to hear what it is they're ready to hear, or what they think they're supposed to hear, or maybe even what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. As you speak, I try to be as clear as I can on the subjects that I'm speaking about, or the points that I want to make. You will hear me repeat myself consistently. When I repeat myself, I have a tendency to either change the way I say something or stress something in the sentence that I just said. I do that for a few reasons. Not everybody learns the same way. Not everybody hears the same thing. I've learned this over many years of teaching. I can teach the same lesson to two people in the same room, and each one of them will get something different from it. That's awesome. So I repeat myself. I don't do it because I think you're unintelligent. I do it because it helps everybody that I'm speaking to, I hope, hear something that I need to say. So you put it out there. I did the video last night. How you doing, sir? Mr. Carlino, I love you, buddy. So you put it out there, and you get knee-jerk reactions and knee-jerk comments. I am going to let them hang until next Monday, and I will address them face-to-face, because it's real easy to misunderstand a simple typed message. So we'll do that. And this is my positive spin on negative people. When they speak their mind and they attack the idea, what they're doing is showing the weakness that they have in their learning capabilities, or the weakness they have in their ability to understand what it is you're trying to say. So how do you take responsibility for that? Face-to-face. You address what's being said face-to-face. If they don't pay attention then, or put up the ego and shut the book on learning, there's nothing else you can or should do about it. You've done your closure, you've done your mourning process, or you've said what you need to say, and you move on. It took me a long time to understand that not everybody wants to be taught, not everybody wants to be helped. And it's a tough one for me to get across, but it's just how it is. All right, so being positive, day 23. Her solution was this. If that's the way he handles a simple phone call, she doesn't want to do business with him anyway. Can you imagine having to deal with somebody like that every day that you're doing business with them? Mm-hmm. And I'm the same way with students and people that I meet on a regular basis. If you've got a really bad attitude, I'll try and help as much as I can. But when it comes right down to it, if you're poison, you move on. And that's just how I am. I don't accept everybody as a student. I don't keep everybody in my camp. I don't allow everybody to be in the circle of influence that I call my family. I try to protect you guys as much as I can. All right. I think that's it. I love you guys. Let's see if there's anything else we can talk about. What can you do today to be positive? So now that we talked about negative people and we've talked about how do we deal with them, those things exist. They're going to pop up. And you know what? I'll share this with you. Since I started this 30-day challenge, I've noticed a ton of people outside of our circle here, a ton of people who have regular positive actions. When you go to the gym, people that are cordial and kind, you can tell they smile, they laugh, they tell you a simple joke, they definitely say hi. And you can notice the other people who are very surrounded in themselves. Neither one's right or wrong, more right or wrong than the other, but I'm just sharing with you that I have noticed that. On the flip side of that coin too, when I do notice that my reticular activating system kicks in and looks for the people that need help. So I have noticed negative people too. Try today, and Mr. Weimer, you posted a video. He's not out yet, is he? He posted a meme that said, a river never runs in reverse. It flows forward the whole time. Try to be like a river and it said to forget your past. I'm not in agreement with forgetting your past. I want you to put it where it needs to be and be able to access it later, but make it a positive statement. When you put your books on your shelf or your past in the behind you. Put it on a shelf that you can retrieve it and remember it in a positive way or in a helpful way. Does that make sense? So don't forget your past, but be like a river and flow forward. Grandmaster Larry Tatum used to tell, he told me once, we were talking, went to him for some advice, and his advice on the situation at the time was, and he loves ships. He loves the ship analogy. And he said, keep your ship pointed in the direction that you know to be true. Everything else will fall away in the ocean. I like that. That's pretty cool. So both of them are water. That's pretty cool. Water flows, it's fluid, it adapts, it moves around, and if it has to, it'll wear away what's in front of it, holding it back or redirect the path, right? So water's an awesome analogy. Okay, guys, I hope you're doing well. What else was I going to do? Was there anything else? Oh, I'd like to talk about this real quick. This turned into me speaking about a lot of different things in the guise or the area of being positive. One of the things we talked about was diet, exercise, living right. Those are all things that help you live a positive life, right? And vice versa. Being positive helps those things. What you eat, what you see, what you read, what you hear, what you feel, what you taste, what you witness becomes who you are. And with that, we've got some people that are experiencing pain in their life. And the pain, they have to work through that and see it in a positive manner. Pain can be debilitating. Pain can be one of those things that you wake up every morning and go, man, it's another day of this, and you have to deal with it. Trust me, I've had a little bit of pain, nothing like the pain that people are sharing with me. A lot of what is taking place with some of the people that are sharing this with me is their diet. And I will tell you this, I used to be the biggest naysayer of, remember when the whole gluten thing came out? Oh, I'm allergic to gluten. Oh, gluten allergy. Oh, I'm allergic to gluten. I mocked and mimicked that left and right. Gluten, the great gluten is going to kill us. And I still kind of think it's funny, the way people take things to an extreme, but that's just me, and I shouldn't laugh, but I do. I find humor in it. But I'll tell you this, food allergies are real. And I used to think an allergy, I was from Arizona. When I had allergies, I had allergies. I was allergic to everything as a kid, so they told me. So when I think of food allergies, that's what I think of. You eat something, you blow up, and then you're going to die, or you're itchy, or you can't, your eyes pop out of your head. That's not exactly true. Food allergies, and you talk to your doctors about this, you talk to a good nutritionalist about this, and food allergies mean the way they affect you inside. And gluten, while not everybody has an allergy to it, it does affect your body. It does. It causes inflammation, leaky gut. It causes your digestive system. It's different for different people. Same thing's true with dairy, sugars, of course, a big poison, and wheat. So wheat, gluten, okay. Red meat, I know, right? Red meat, I think it's the number 3 allergen on the list. That's what my daughter said. I believe it was number 3.
I don't think you specified what you want.
Oh, my wife came out and said, I forgot to tell you what I want to do. She's right. Let me finish this story about food. It did, but I'll go back over it. So what you eat has an effect on your back. It has an effect on the pain that you have. It causes inflammation. So what you want to do is reach out to a nutritionist or somebody that you know that's an expert. And if it's just somebody you know and you're not paying for let me, because when you pay, sometimes it's not right. Okay, find a few experts. Do some research. If somebody's going to give you real advice, what they're going to want to do is take a blood test first. They're going to want to see what's going on in your blood, okay, first, to give you exact answers to or solutions to your issue. But there are some guidelines you can follow to start eating clean. I can help you with that. I can point you in the direction of my daughter and her company, or I can give you some of what I've done. But eating clean is the first step. When you clean your diet, you're going to notice a difference. And then when you start putting foods back in slowly that you like, you'll notice. And I'll share with you this. When I did this, I had it took me 3, maybe 4 weeks to really get it, the 2 weeks clean. When I did the real 2 weeks of eating clean, I felt incredible. And what really drove it home was my coach said, okay, go ahead and put something back in your diet now that you used to eat. I used to eat eggs and oatmeal and steak all the time, just red meat. And so I decided I'm going to have a steak. And I had a nice ribeye. Oh, put it on the grill, had a ribeye. And for 3 days, I was sick, bloated, and just, ugh. And I told my daughter, Dad, and she goes, Dad, it's not today that you feel that way. You used to feel that way all the time. You just got used to it. I was like, holy crap. And she was right. I know, red meat. So now I eat a ton of chicken. But anyway, that will help your inflammation. It will help with your uncomfortableness. It will help your nervous system. It will help your circulatory system. Eating clean is going to change your life. I can't wait to help one of my friends with this. I'm going to start send her some information this week, if not early Monday. Okay. And then my wife said, I didn't tell you guys what I want you to do today. So what I want you to do is get around people who inspire you, of course. If you notice the negative people, I would like you to notice what you want to do about it. Pay attention to how you feel when you witness a negative person. So this is my question to you, and what I'd like you to do. When I don't want you to focus on negativity, but if you encounter a negative person, notice for me, how do you want to handle it? And then share with me how you actually handle it, okay? And on the subject of being positive, it's simple. Get around things that inspire you. Get around people that inspire you. I can challenge you. When I do this to people, they get mad at me. Let's see if you can do it. Sounds easy. Go to a mirror. Look directly into your eyes in the mirror. Don't break focus, okay? Keep looking at your eyes. And tell yourself that you love yourself. Don't go there, Sarah. I date me. Don't do that, okay? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. My head's all over there now. Go to the mirror, look in your eyes. Don't take your eyes off yourself, and tell yourself that you love yourself. Some people have a really hard time doing this. If you have a hard time, talk to me, and I'll help you get through that. If you think it's funny, for simple humor's sake, good, but go try that for me. Your challenge for today, being positive, get around people or things that inspire you. Share with us what it might have been, so everybody can get a beat on that. And then for your homework, if you encounter a negative person, kind of make note of how you want to deal with it immediately, your knee-jerk reaction, and then how you actually handled it and were capable of letting it go. These would be good things for people to know. All right. I love you. I'm going to jump off here. It's been 23 minutes. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It'll be a really early morning for me, so it'll be early when I do this. If you have something else you'd like to talk about or share, do that for me. If you like what we're doing, go to the YouTube page and share it, please. We're trying to grow that page. And hit the like button for me. I know there's a lot of videos to choose from. There's going to be 30 of them, right? The next challenge will be 26. Good morning, Mr. Porter. 26 moves, right? 26 days, 26 challenges. And we will put some good tools in our box. All right, you guys. I love you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the morning.